Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. So I'm going to jump right in here. We've got some questions coming in for ascension, for awakening, and for the embodiment of the new human, for this higher space of you that you are remembering, activating, reconnecting with, and being. And so these are in connection with the ACASMA Quantum Energy course that I'm hosting right now, that I'm actually facilitating. And these are coming in from students all over the planet. And so one of the students wrote in and she said, hi, Andrea, is there ever a time when you only hold your hands up and say Acasma flow and you don't add in the keys? For example, is there any benefit to starting the Acasma flow before you go to sleep or for your plants, etc.? Absolutely, 100%. I will send Acasma to plants. I send Acasma to spaces, to memories, to future events. You can utilize the Acasma Star. It's very beautiful for that. And again, for anyone who's interested in this work and would like to be activated and attuned to do this work, please check out my website, sacredexpansion.com. There's either myself or other teachers that I've certified and attuned and activated to do this work that are holding courses all over the planet in various languages now to accommodate everyone. So please reach out if this makes sense to you, if it resonates with you. But this particular student that is in the course is learning and activated and attuned to work with these spaces. And so she wanted to know if she could do this with plants and maybe before bed and not have to really work with all of the keys. So what's going on when you're saying Acasma flow? If you are activated and attuned to do this work, what is going on when you're saying Acasma flow is you're actually implementing the keys. So the keys are present within the Acasma flow because the keys are what make up Acasma's flow, Acasma consciousness. The keys are the specific spaces of, if you will, kind of the foundations of the energetic connection of the way in which we experience Acasma is through the keys opening the doors, if you will, to the root reconnection, the earth reconnection, the soul reconnection, sacred heart reconnection, the I am, the sovereignty, the God frequency, the DNA, all these spaces of ourselves that these energetic keys are within the embodiment of Acasma flow. Now, the reason why you would use them, even because you say, okay, well, then why can't I just say Acasma flow? And if you went back and you rewatched class 1 or 2, maybe even both, I think I told you there's no wrong way to do this. And that the analytical mind, the structure of the human is looking for specific teachings to gain its understanding of what it's doing. So when I teach you the keys and I show you the keys and I attune you to the key, that is the way in which the human format is able to function from the connection of that consciousness and that energy. So when you're doing an Acasma Quantum Energy session for yourself and you say Acasma flow, you can trust that within that understanding, that intention are the keys. Now, when you're doing a session for someone and you're bringing in those keys and you're allowing yourself time with the space, right? Like we talk about in class. So Acasma flow, and you go to the root reconnection, you start working with it the way you've been taught. Now, you will get understanding about you if you're doing a self session or your client, your family member, your friend, the animal, if they are in a body of some type, then you could utilize them. Plants, you wouldn't need to. But in many ways, the plants you still could in various ways, but that's a whole nother video. But when you're utilizing the keys in the session, it's also to allow you a space of connection through the quantum field to read that space of connection with the person you're working with or the animal you're working with. So if you're utilizing the root reconnection key and you're keying in with that space, connecting in with that space, you can be picking up on what's going on. Like one time I had an individual, a client who when I did the root reconnection, and you don't just pick and choose, you do them all because you need them all. They serve a purpose of a foundation. But when you do the root reconnection, that one time with a client, I experienced that nothing was running down their right leg. Nothing, no connective point at all to the earth. And I made note of it. Then I reconnected them and ran the root reconnection, made sure it was flowing through both legs, continued on through the other spaces that you learned about doing in the with the keys and the energy keys in a session. I said, you may have had some spaces of, difficulty or trial, tribulation, whatever it is, density, connected to the masculine figures in your life, because the right leg was totally disconnected. There was no connection at all with the earth root connection. And the person wrote me back and said, oh my gosh, that's been my whole life. They had abuse. They had a lot of really dense spaces in every masculine connection in their life. So another reason why you utilize the keys in a session space, even though they're involved in the Acasma flow, that the intention to run them is already there when you speak Acasma flow. But the reason why you picture the key, intend the key, and hold the space with the key for a moment at the different designated spaces for the different designated keys. The reason you do that is because you also get the opportunity to read the space and receive the understandings that would be most optimal and beneficial for the client. So you do not need to do the keys with yourself when you're falling asleep, but you could if you wanted to lean in and feel into those spaces of you. Am I picking up some understanding of what are my roots like right now? What's my connection to the earth like right now? What's going on with my soul spaces? What's going on with my I am? So allowing a space of intent and connectivity with the key, with a self session and or a client is just going to also give you the opportunity not only to facilitate that energy for yourself or them, but also to read the space more clearly. But absolutely give beautiful Acasma flow blessings to your plants, Acasma flow blessings to your animals, Acasma flow blessings to yourself before you fall asleep at night. We're actually going to be working on that in class space coming up. But laying the hands on the body and Acasma flow. And because you are activated and attuned to this, you took the course, you learned the teachings, you understand, you've been activated and attuned by me or another master teacher. When you say Acasma flow, that energy is a connective point in your consciousness and you are able to utilize it. It's like having a new tool in your toolbox. You'll be able to get that tool out and use it whenever you need it. All right. It's actually really bigger than that, but that's one way of saying it. And you can also send Acasma to spaces, places, memories, events, exams, job interviews, family, family dinners, gatherings of any kind of wedding, whatever you've got to go to. A lot of the times people are experiencing massive amounts of energy shifts because they've become aware of their consciousness and their being and their awakening, and they've done all this and now they're embodying. And by embodying, their energy is being processed by their body in a different way, meaning they're becoming more and more aware of the energy and aware of other people's energy, but less of it merging. So what's happening is they have to process all of this. And so Acasma actually helps you do that as well. And so you could actually send Acasma to the event you have coming up. Maybe you have to go to the store. And, I'm not making this up. I deal with clients all over the world. Going to the store for some people is a really big deal. So they send Acasma Quantum Energy to the store space, to the space of going, to the space of returning. And then they allow themselves to understand their shield and field of love is on and up and processing and functioning beautifully. They bless their I am, their roots, their soul, peace and balance, chalice of life. Boom, I'm out the door. I'm on my way to the store and I'm flowing in a higher vibrational space of connection the whole time. Acasma is a way of life. It truly is a way of life. For those of us who are here to live in a higher dimensional space of ourselves, that's what Acasma is all about. And it is all you. There's nothing outside of you because it is a full bridge and reconnection to you. So thank you so much for this question. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's fantastic. And yes, please send Acasma to your beautiful plants. You do not have to do the symbols, just Acasma flow, blessing on the plant, blessing on the plant, blessing on the event, blessing on the memory. It can be from, memory of the past. Send the Acasma flow there. Let it fill the space. It's the higher spaces of you, the sovereign spaces of you, the love spaces of you coming, flooding in and bringing in that healing light. So thank you. Beautiful question. Blessings upon you all. Blessings upon you all.